Never in our wildest dreams did we think that two 21-year-olds will go out and build something big used by millions of people. Good times don't last, neither do bad times. What most people see today is the result of tons of failures, several years of trial and error. When hunger meets opportunity, that's when you can make a lot of great things happen. This is the best time to be working in AI. Hi, I'm Krish Ramineni, co-founder and CEO at Fireflies.ai.
When COVID hit, all of our servers were blowing up. I'd wake up in a cold sweat every morning looking for something that was broken and something that needed to be fixed. By the end of that year, we had reached over 100,000 users. For us, it was exhilarating. Hi, I'm Sam Udotong. I'm the CTO at Fireflies. Went to school at MIT where I met Krish, my co-founder, and the two of us have been building since college. We started building projects together almost 11 years ago, and it's been a great journey.
Sam was someone I had met in a remote context. We stayed in touch for over 2 years before we even met in person. But somehow we were able to work on different projects, apply to hackathons while in school. And I made this pivotal decision one day when I left Microsoft to fly out to Boston on whim, stay in the same dorms that he was staying in for the summer, and we started working on a bunch of different ideas. It was one of the most spontaneous decisions I've made in my life.
As we tried to pitch this to investors and advisors, and even family and friends, we got so much pushback. People didn't believe in us. I remember one time, a close family member told me, hey, you should probably stop working on this product. You're wasting your time. You should go find a job at Google or something.
We've dealt with a lot of rejection. We've had a lot of people tell us if this was actually technologically possible, one of the big companies would have already done it. Why would we bet on these two no-name founders to go and build this?
Krish and I decided to forego going to grad school and forego many other opportunities and basically work without funding.
He turned down Harvard, he turned down Stanford to come move to San Francisco with a couple $100s in his pockets and build this business.
We were not able to raise our seed round until 5 years after we had initially started working together.
We know how difficult it was to just get our first $10,000 check, our first $25,000 check. As we went out to raise money, we were amazed at how some people without a product raised tens of millions of dollars, in fact, hundreds of millions of dollars. We weren't networking, we weren't going to these conferences, we weren't trying to play the game of a startup. And so that was really difficult for us, and that's what made us have a chip on our shoulder and want to work really hard to make things right and actually accomplish something. Every rejection was extreme motivation for us.
People don't really believe something until it's already there. In 2017, in order to build an AI note taker, it was very difficult. Transcription costs were extremely high. Machine learning models were not that great yet.
We don't know how to play the Silicon Valley game where you raise a lot of money, get a lot of press, do a lot of hype. If the business doesn't work out, these companies are able to get acqui-hired by someone else. But we knew very clearly there's no one there to bail us out. We're on our own.
Krish is a really great partner. He's super attentive, super focused, super execution minded, super cost efficient, and also helping us think about exactly what do we need to do now to make sure our product succeeds.
Sam is the optimist, I'm the realist.
My kind of approach is usually a lot more dreamer, hand-wavy, thinking optimistic, kind of dreaming about the future, but sometimes I'll miss what needs to be done right now.
Our personalities are very different, but at the same time, we value the same things and we have this like tenacity and work ethic. What I'm most proud of is how we built the business in our own way. How do you go from taking something that was impossible and making it inevitable, one customer at a time, one feature at a time?
Fireflies is continuing to expand as a company globally. We're still hiring all over the world. We're hiring the best and brightest people. We're still building a very small team full of what we like to say 10x people who can take something and run with it.
We were very efficient, we were very lean, we kept the team small. And I always like to say that by forcing ourselves to be small, we actually could turn that into a competitive advantage and actually reach for something much bigger. because we always thought of how do we scale, how do we serve many, many people with as little resources as possible.
The valuation milestone is a great testament of the team's hard work. It's been a long time thinking about the problem of note-taking and AI in meetings and how can we make this more important and valuable for people.
When we go talk to different people and say, hey, we're an AI startup, we're profitable, we're growing triple digits year over year for the last 3 years, that sounds like a contradiction. There's no way you should be growing that fast without burning money. Every time we raised money, we promised ourselves we would never raise money again. We wanted to build something that was gonna last and endure.
The vision of Fireflies has always been take your communication and transform it into something useful and make work easier. So the first form factor of that has been AI note-taking. Every meeting has important, valuable information that's locked and buried deep inside those conversations.
When we started, the term AI note-taker, no one used it. We coined that term. In fact, we bought AInotetaker.com the moment I felt that was the apt title for Fireflies at the time. Today, it's funny seeing a lot of our competitors, a lot of the market, these industry analysts use AI note-taker as a category. So I'm very proud that we took the proactive approach to defining that category.
A few years ago, it was a blue ocean where there weren't that many note takers on the scene. Now you have many companies coming around to realizing that the space of note taking is extremely important. And why is that? It's because it's one of the main sources of communication and conversation, and that's where a lot of work originates. That has been Krish and I's thesis since the time we started on this path.
10 years ago, we had this deep belief that Fireflies is not a tool, it's essentially an AI teammate, someone that can follow you around and help you do work. So some of the first messaging we used was an AI secretary. I don't look at Fireflies as just AI note-taking. It listens, it remembers, it acts. Why does it just have to be your executives that have a secretary or a business admin? Why not democratize AI for everyone and give everyone their own personal assistant? So that's where it started. And today, that's become a reality. What we're essentially doing is building a platform where humans and AI teammates can collaborate.
It's actually become a life mission of mine to work on communication and conversation software. I would love for the legacy that we're able to leave behind to show the world that if you can communicate with others, no matter where they are, no matter who they are, across different backgrounds and different geographies and different types of mentalities, you can work together and the world can become closer. So one example would be even the creation of language, I think, is a technology. From language to writing, and from writing to books and the printing press and the telephone and the internet, and now large language models. These are all forms of scaling communication. And each of these technologies come with their challenges, but ultimately they make the world a better place. So I hope that Fireflies is another one of those such technologies.
When we first started building Fireflies, there were definitely people that were uncomfortable seeing our AI note-taker meeting bot in their video conferencing calls. But those same people, after some time, said, I actually feel anxious if I don't see Fireflies join my meetings. So when you see that AI note-taker tile, you actually feel relaxed because you now know that there's someone there to help you remember everything that's happening in a conversation.
Historically, it's been a silent note taker, diligently taking the notes, never missing a word. But now Fireflies is starting to come to life where you can also call on it to answer a question.
We're very excited with the announcement of Talk to Fireflies because now you can actually interact with your AI teammate in conversations, ask it questions about what's going on in the meeting, as well as pull in information from outside the meeting. Thanks to our partnership with Perplexity, Fireflies now has the power of the entire web.
Our mission at Fireflies is continuing to expand beyond just meeting summaries, but deeply embedding ourselves in important workflows and kicking off work as it occurs in real time during the meeting. I believe very deeply in the idea that AI can help organizations work and communicate better.
We couldn't be here without the people that have put their faith in us and trusted us from day one. This includes our teammates, as well as our customers, and also our early investors who took a chance on these two 21-year-old kids out of college.
My most proud achievement so far has been building a team that's distributed around the world. We've hired in 20 different countries.
Our cultural moat is about having no bureaucracy. We make sure that we can have people working from anywhere in the world. We're not measuring whether you're in the office, how many hours you're clocking in. What we care about is the results. What we care about is, are you delivering value?
Great communication and great execution come hand in hand. It's oftentimes you look at the best performers and they're all over your Slack channels, they're all over the meetings, they're participating in every conversation and they're driving things forward. And I have a deep belief that strong communication creates strong teams, which creates strong working environments.
Another thing that we really believe here at Fireflies is speed without direction is chaos. So we want individual accountability. Great individuals build incredible teams. I like to believe that Fireflies at 100, 120 employees can do the work of a 1,000-person company. We hire everyone with an engineering-oriented mindset. Even our head of HR studied engineering in school. And we know that when we have that sort of mindset and DNA from sales to HR to marketing, it will help us better adapt for this AI era.
We've hired some engineers who are helping on marketing. We've hired some salespeople who are automating workflows. And so we believe in a culture and a team that's all over the world, top talent, who are willing to take ownership and get things done.
The company that cares the most and listens to the customers, who is closest to the customers, will eventually win.
We care very, very deeply about customers. We have an insane customer focus. My co-founder still reads every single customer message that comes in, and he's always driving this insane customer attention.
At the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is, do customers care about what you're building? Do they use your product every day? Are you getting real revenue? Are you taking care of your teammates? And that's what kept us going, even when there was so much uncertainty. You never want to forget where you started and where you came from. And I'm always grateful for those early days because it taught us a lot of important life lessons.
Another reason that we're differentiated from the competition is just the sheer scale and distribution of Fireflies. Many of our customers find out about Fireflies from another person using it. We care about quality, we care about thinking about problems from first principles and making sure that we think for the long term and design architecture that enables many futures. This is a cornerstone of what we do because obviously meetings and communication is one of the most sensitive and important pieces of an organization. And so from the moment teammates join till every step in the development process, we prioritize security at each step, and we try to go above and beyond, not just the basics of terms of SOC 2 compliance and GDPR and HIPAA, which we do, but we also build features that can take it a step further, such as private storage, where organizations can own their own data in their own storage buckets. So we're going to keep innovating when it comes to security and privacy because we know that it's the most important thing.
We were lucky in terms of timing, in terms of COVID, in terms of the AI technology, but it's also about being there and seizing the moment once it arrives. AI teammates are coming. They're in fact already here. And millions of you are already using an AI teammate in your meetings, which is Fireflies. We've launched 200 plus AI apps. Fireflies can write articles, reports, blogs, analyze your calls, create scorecards, help you hire better, help you close deals, help you be more creative and more attentive. So that's what a good teammate should do.
We've been building our product and orienting ourselves for today. One reason that we are prepared is just because of longevity and time spent on this problem. We've built a lot of important primitives into our code, like private storage, that are very difficult to replicate.
So there's a new AI Notetaker, new meeting assistant popping up every other day. And many of these companies are looking at Fireflies as a source of inspiration and as a way to take market share from. If we just worried about competition every single day, we won't be able to get things done. What we care more about is, are we making our customers happy? Are we fulfilling their needs further? What most people see today is the result of tons of failures, several years of trial and error. Fireflies is not just about being an AI note taker anymore. It's an AI teammate that will help you across every job function, every department, and will go beyond meetings in the very near future.